doubting what you've achieved at a technical level. There are just certain design choices that were made that we don't fully understand.
She can dance. She can sing. She can take song requests.
With all due respect, those weren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Drew. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, the show that's waiting for the day I can do an episode proving that Bendy, our little devil darling, happens to be the same devil ruling over Cuphead's Inkwell Isle where he collects soul contracts, including that of the neighbor from Hello Neighbor. Oh yeah, and he also happened to be created by a guy named Henry, no last name given, just like some animatronics we all know and tolerate. Just saying, I did that all video games are connected theory a few years ago. The indie scene might be getting a bit closer than we all expect. What am I saying? That'd be a half-baked theory. Here, I try to deal in theories that are closer to three-quarter baked, at least. Segue to Bendy Chapter 3. Everyone's favorite ink demon is back, and he's brought with him more fetch quests than you can shake a plunger at. And while sucking inky Botox out of bloated blobs and chasing Looney Tunes rejects around with an ink-spewing Tommy gun was all to the identity of Wally Franks. At this point, we know the fates of pretty much every other character. So what happened to Wally the janitor? The guy whose own motto in this game is, I'm out of here. Well, I would bet you that we find out in Chapter 4 that Wally is Boris. Specifically, the perfect Boris that Alice Angel is so eager to get her hands on. And no, it's not only because of process of elimination, though, sure, that helps out in a game with a limited number of characters. No, there's tons of evidence to suggest this. Even though his official title is Janitor, details hidden throughout the game reveal that he's much more like the studio's mechanic. Look here at the ink machine blueprints on the wall. Even though they're for Joey Drew, underneath you can see written, Attention Wally Franks. In other words, Wally is the one responsible for handling the installation of this machine. Additionally, in his audio logs, he laments the breaking pipes as though he's the one who's forced to fix them.
Can I tell you what? If one more of these pipes bursts, I'm out of here.
And in Chapter 1, we learned that
Joey had each one of us donate something from our workstation. We put them on these little pedestals in the break room.
the 6 items donated are a gear, a Bendy doll, Joey Drew's book, an ink jar, a record, and a wrench. Of those, only the gear and wrench make any sort of sense to associate with Wally, and both of those are mechanically oriented. It's not like there's a plunger or a broom or some other stereotypical janitorial item in the mix. The reason why all of this mechanical stuff matters is what we see Boris do in Chapter 3. When the door into the factory gets stuck, Boris knows how to crawl into the vents and open the jammed door. There's no gameplay here, so it's a weird thing to just include in the story elements of the game, unless it's meant to tell us something. The act of crawling into the walls and opening a jammed door is something a mechanic working at the studio would be able to do, but that's not all. In a teaser available on GameJolt, the Meatly included an image of Boris holding a wrench, again pointing to a possible connection with the mechanic of the building, i.e. the one who installed the ink machine in the first place and dedicated their wrench to the sacrifice altar, aka Wally Franks. But the final nail in the coffin comes from the Meatly himself, who posted on Twitter shortly after the release of Chapter 2, quote, "Why would Wally leave his keys in the trash for 30 years? It's almost as if he never got a chance to go back for them," end quote, alluding to the fact that Wally Franks met with an untimely end. And in this game, we've never actually seen anyone die. They've only become infected with the ink, transforming into ink monsters or ink characters. So unless a new monster is introduced in Chapter 4, which is pretty late in the game's story to be introducing new characters, that leaves us with only one option. Wally Franks is Boris, the one human character whose fate has been left unaccounted for, becomes the one cartoon character who we don't know the origins of. So, there you have it, theorists. My predictions as to the major reveals of both Chapter 4 and Chapter 5. Didn't even need to wait 3 months. In my estimation, Chapter 4 will center around the Boris-Wally reveal as we try to rescue our hapless dog from the clutches of the evil Alice. And then Chapter 5 will bring us into the finale, where we confront Bendy and his machine one final time, only to learn that it was Joey Drew all along, a victim of his own attempt to cure the life-threatening illness that afflicted him. Which honestly would wrap up the story if there weren't one big question mark hanging over all of this. Who is Henry? in these events? Was he just an animator? Just the creator of the characters who would go on to be abused by Joey and his schemes? Or does Henry have some more sinister motives? Alice says that she knows why he's here at the end of chapter 3, but do we know why he's there? As the player, his motivations are still really unclear. Perhaps that's a video for another day. In the meantime, remember, it's all just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.